Hello, fuckos, and welcome to this episode 62 of the Chris Hunter Comedy Podcast with me, Chris Hunter. Hello, are you well? I hope you're well. I've had a nice week. I said that a bit wrong than normal, but you know what? It's not actually a predetermined thing. It's just stuff that comes out my face. So, yes, as normal this week, I went and got my burger. It was a good burger. There wasn't a special this week because the lovely folks at the cafe at the end of the universe had been on the jollies. So, you know, lazy buggers as they are, hardly ever working. No, I'm only joking. They're always working their asses off. So it was nice to see that they got away for a little bit. But because they were away, there was no special. So I got the Pennywise burger this week, which is one of my favourite go-tos because the Pennywise is an awesome burger. It's got a freaking corn dog in the top of it, yo. I mean, if a corn dog doesn't do it for you, you don't belong in this conversation. You know what I mean? Because like the Pennywise, let's see, what is it? The Pennywise double beef patty, smoked bacon, dairy cheese, funfair onions, nacho coated jalapeno poppers, nacho cheese sauce, corn dog, and all that in a pretzel bun. Not sponsored, by the way, just remember that, folks. I just like the stuff, so I'll tell you about it. That's how I do. And it was amazing. It was delicious, as always. And that's that. But I then went upstairs. I had the candy pie. They had a special this week. They had a special dessert. And the candy pie, right? This really does just sound like an advert now, but it's not. This is just what my life is food. So I tell you about the food I have. In a minute, I'm going to talk about video games just to be even more stereotypical. But yeah, I had the candy bar pie. So it had like an Oreo base on it, and then it had like a baked middle. It's not a cheesecake, but if you call it a cheesecake, Vicky gets angry. So I might just call it a cheesecake. But it wasn't. It was a pie. And it's got like a baked, was it peanut butter and Snickers, like filling in the middle. And it was topped with like this white chocolate and peanut butter glazy saucy stuff. And it was absolutely amazing. It was really, tasty pie. But of course, with all those snacks and cakes and whatnot, we need to work it off. So the lovely Charlie decided to buy Nerf guns. And I know we're adults. She knows we're adults. It's fine. We don't need to grow up. Why would you ever want to grow up? She's been wanting Nerf guns forever. As have I, should I say. So that's what we did. We got Nerf guns and they're awesome. They hurt a bit because we got the special ones. Like we got little mini ones that have got the normal, you know, like the stick bullet things that they have. They don't hurt much. But then we got the big ones, the Overwatch ones, and they fire balls, like a little foam Nerf balls. They're called Nerf Rivals. Right, and these things, they actually hurt. They shouldn't do, but they do actually kind of hurt. But I guess, you know, it depends where you get shot from. Because if you're dead close, it's going to sting. But if you're far away, it ain't going to sting. But the good news is, because they're foamy balls, you can kind of fire them around corners by bouncing them off walls and stuff, which is awesome. So it's great fun. We've been running around the house like nut jobs, acting like 5-year-old children. I couldn't actually stop giggling yesterday because I was hiding. I was just hiding in the bedroom, waiting for her to find me, and it just felt like being a kid again. I just couldn't stop giggling because I was hiding. It was ridiculous. But yeah, speaking of the lovely Charlie, it's her birthday tomorrow, folks. Say happy birthday to her. That's very nice of you. Thank you very much. I'll pass on your regards. So we're going to go and watch The Book of Mormon in Manchester, which we saw it once in London and it was fan-bloody-tastic. So we're going to go see it again for her birthday. And I'm so excited. I'm so crazy excited to go see it. It's going to be awesome. But because it's her birthday, I thought, you know what? We'll book a couple of days off work. So we've got like a midweek weekend. So tomorrow and the day after is Chico and Charlie's days of fun, which we love having every now and again. It's just nice, you know? It's nice to have a stop where you can just not think about stuff. Go have a day or two designated to having fun, having a little connection, you know, just having some nice time together. So we're going to go watch Book of Mormon. I might treat it to some Japanese food if she's good. She probably won't be, but you know what? I might do it anyway. And then the day after, hopefully, should the weather persist, we should be going to Chester Zoo. Because this week, the weather has been absolutely shite. So it's been super moist every goddamn day so far, to the point where I need new shoes. I already needed new shoes, but now I really need new shoes because they're soaked. They're soaked and ruined and destroyed, and I'm sad about this. But this week hasn't all been doom and gloom and moisture and such. This week is one of the biggest weeks in any gamer's diary. It is the week of E3, which is the Electronics Expo from back in the day. I think it's the Electronics Entertainment Expo or something like that. That's where the E3 comes from. But anyway, yeah, it's been good. It's been good so far. There's been some really cool games on display. There's been some good, presentations and stuff. There's a game coming out called Ghostwire, which looks awesome. I mean, they haven't shown any actual gameplay of the game yet, but the stuff that they showed was like these really, really realistic shots of Tokyo, like real places in Tokyo. And they look like they just went there and filmed it, but they didn't. It's all in-game and there's some creepy shit going on. People are just disappearing out of their clothes, like it's like they're being raptured or something. The clothes just drop to the floor, and it's really unsettling. But the what's it called? The creative director who's running the game is a woman called Ikumi Nakamura, and she has taken the internet by storm at the moment, apparently, because she came out and she was really nervous. You could tell she was nervous, but she kind of did that Japanese thing of turning nerves into like cuteness, like it was like she didn't know how to use her energy, so she just did adorable stuff, and that has now taken the internet by storm. So she's become the subject of a lot of fan art and a lot of memes and all this kind of stuff, which I thought was really nice, because it's not often that you get like female creative directors on, especially on like horror games and stuff like that. So it's really nice to see that, and the fact that people are reacting well to her as a person as well, But she tweeted saying, "I hope that you like the game as much as you like me." So that's nice. I thought that was lovely. But yeah, other stuff that they had. There was loads and loads of stuff at E3. Watch Dogs 3 was announced, the Ubisoft one. If you guys have played Watch Dogs, you'll know it's a fun game about hacking people and all this jibber jabber. But this one looks like this one is set in London. And it's really weird because it's set in places that we've been to, like Piccadilly Circus and Leicester Square. That kind of area is where the demo was that they were showing. And it's so weird seeing places that you've been to in a video game, Like, we were there, what was it, I think a month ago maybe, if that. And so it's still fresh in my memory. And then you see it in the game and you're like, oh, I was there. We were right there. That's where we went to watch such a thing. But it looks like a really cool game. The idea in this one is that you can recruit people to your side, you see. And you can recruit them. It's called Watch Dogs Legion. That's it. You can recruit them and you can... what can you do? Yeah, when you die in the game, that's it, you're dead. So you've got to keep recruiting people to try and get them on your side and try and have more people to overthrow the authorities and such. And you know what? I just realised I'm not very good at describing that game. But basically, go have a look at it. Watch Dogs Legion. Looks cool. Sorry, folks, I'm a bit distracted tonight. I've got a nice cup of tea next to me and I realised I didn't finish it. Hang on a minute. Oh, in one. Okay. Right, you can't leave a brew to go cold. It's illegal. There was a game during the Xbox conference, I believe, called 12 Minutes. Right, this looked really interesting. This was a game. It just showed an apartment with a couple in it, and it's from the top-down view. So if you imagine, like if you had like a doll's house and you took the roof off and you looked down, that's what it looked like. And then it had people who, these two were just talking to each other. And then it's like the guy, I think the woman keeps... What happens now? The guy keeps reliving the same 12 minutes, I'm assuming. And things start happening, like she comes to him to make some kind of announcement. And he's like, I know, you've done this, you've done that. Somebody's going to turn up in a minute. They're going to try and kill us both. We need to get out of here. All this kind of stuff. And then it kept cutting to different scenarios and certain situations happen, one of which he seems to have killed her. And it looked like a really, really interesting concept for a game. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that because I want to get it. I want to see, excuse me, I want to get it. I want to see what it's like. I'm curious. I'm so curious. It's times like this, I wish I had a much better memory because I'm talking about these games and I want to hype them up. I want to talk about them in detail. But alas, I've seen so much stuff over the past few days from all the different talks that I've been on, the different presentations and stuff. So my brain can't retain what I've seen from each thing, and I'm forgetting stuff. So I'm sorry if this is a bit scatterbrained today, folks. I've also just got back from the cinema, and I just had a pizza. So my brain, she's not good right now. She's going home. Go home to brain. So what am I talking about? Oh yeah, the water. Yes. This is not to do with E3, so I'll talk about that after E3 stuff. I don't know why I left it in the middle. I have little notes, you see, folks. I have notes to give me a little gentle nudge, just a little reminder of what I'm supposed to talk about. And alas, I'd left a random note in the middle of all the E3 stuff. That doesn't belong there. Let's see, what else? I talked about Watch Dogs, 12 minutes. Yeah, Google Stadia. I don't know if I spoke to you guys last week about this. I don't think it had been properly announced yet. But there's a thing that Google are bringing out called Google Stadia, right? And it's a streaming service. So all you do is you buy a game on it and you can play it on your phone, on your tablet, on your PC, on your TV. On your TV, you need like one of those Chromecast Ultra things that you plug in the side of it, off you go to the races. And it works with PlayStation controllers and stuff, but you can buy a fancy Google Stadia controller. And so we're going to be getting one of them, and we're also going to be having some like a review channel for it, I think. So that's good. We've been trying to set some of that stuff up, and I feel good about it, you know. So we'll be keeping up to date with reviews and things, and you know, leak information, hints, tips, all that jazz. So there'll be plenty more to come, and that's keeping an eye out for that in the future. Yeah, but Google Stadia, it seems to be doing pretty well so far. You know, people are supporting it at E3. People are you're saying, you know, this game's going to come on the Switch and the PlayStation, the Xbox, and Stadia. And I'm thinking, that's cool. It's good. They're showing some kind of support. That means it might have some kind of life. And I hope it does. It looks like it'll be a promising thing, because I remember there was a thing years ago called OnLive, which was like a game streaming service. And it was pretty shit. You know, they tried. They really tried. But the internet wasn't ready for it. It was just years and years ago. So the internet was nowhere near as good as it is now. But, you know, it's good now. It's good enough, I think. So this should be... it should be able to stand its ground. It should hang around for a little bit. All being well, it will last. What else was there? Oh yeah, I was watching the Ubisoft conference. By the way, guys, there's a lot of video games this week. I apologise if you're not into video games, but it's E3 week. You know, you got to mention them. Otherwise, what was the point? You know. So yeah, I was watching the Ubisoft conference, and Ubisoft have a game called Just Dance, which they release every year. It's a colourful dancing game. People seem to love it. And at the end of the presentation for it, when they showed the splash screen that says what consoles it's on, it says, you know, PlayStation, Xbox, Switch. I think it said Stadia as well, but it also said the Wii. Now, yes, I did just say the Wii. Not even the Wii U, which was 2 consoles ago, but the Wii, which is 3 consoles ago. And the Wii, let's see, when did the Wii come out? 2006, I think? The Wii came out, 2006. So that's a 13-year-old console. And Just Dance is coming out for it. And it wasn't a mistake. I thought maybe they just put the wrong logo up. They haven't. It's definitely real. And apparently the reason is that the Wii, it's such a family-friendly and easy-to-use console, which is why it sold so well, that a lot of hospitals put them in there, you know, for patients to play with and try and get some movement. And, you know, same in pensioners' homes and all that kind of stuff, trying to get some movements in the old beds, you know, so they installed the Wii. And so apparently, yeah, they're still selling on the Wii. So Ubisoft must see some kind of profit in there somewhere if they're saying, yeah, you know what, it's 2019, why not release a game on a 13-year-old console? So good on them for doing that. I really appreciate that, because clearly it's going to help a lot of people who would otherwise be kind of stuck because they don't have, you know, they can't afford a Switch, for example, or they're in hospital and the hospital doesn't have something like that. So yeah, good on them. Good on them indeed. And speaking of the Switch, I just saw just before this podcast recording session as we speak, I've just watched the Nintendo conference, and in that they confirmed that The Witcher 3 is being released on the Switch, which I couldn't believe, because we've been hoping, there's been rumours about it, but I heard about quite a detailed report about if it was feasible for that game to be on the Switch, and apparently it could happen, but it would be shitty apparently. But from what I saw in this reveal trailer, it looks pretty damn solid. So I love that game. It is hands down one of the best games I've ever played. I've thoroughly enjoyed it, and I plan to replay it soon, so I might as well do that on the Switch, hadn't I? So that's exciting news indeed. And speaking of games that I was excited about, the very game that got me in the mindset of wanting to make video games, Final Fantasy VIII, has been confirmed of having a remaster, which I can't bloody wait for, because I love Final Fantasy VIII. It is aged pretty terribly because it's a PS1 game, so you know, it came out in 1998, folks. Come on now. Even my brother was 3 years old, and that bitch is going to be in the Paralympics, so it's a long time ago, you know. So yeah, that's going to be good. It looks beautiful. Granted, it doesn't look that different, but it looks a bit, to be fair, I say it doesn't look different, it probably looks a lot better, but you know, when you just, it'll still look not as nice as the newest games, is what I'm saying. But one thing that does look absolutely stunning, they showed more actual gameplay footage of the Final Fantasy VII remake that they're doing. Now that isn't a remaster like the Final Fantasy VIII one, this is a remake. It's a full, absolutely full, from the ground up, brand new game. So yeah, it looks ridiculously good. From the stuff that we saw, the voice acting is janky as always, but you know, that's always been the case with Japanese games, because it's like I don't know. I don't know if they get like Japanese directors or something to direct the voice acting, but it's always cheesy as frig. And it's so like, stereotypical and not great. But hey, that's fine. It's part of the charm of Japanese video games is having slightly shitty voiceovers. And so I'm fine with it. It adds to the atmosphere. Oh, got hiccups again, love. I've always got bloody hiccups when you people are listening to me. Another thing as well. The Witcher 3. I was just talking about The Witcher 3. One of the best games I've ever played. Well, that is made by a company called CD Projekt Red, which are from Poland. And they've got a new game coming out called Cyberpunk 2077, I think. It's got a year after it. I'm sure that was it. But it looks freaking amazing, that game. I cannot wait for it. That is going to absorb my life when it happens. And it's going to be just sheer ridiculousness. It's going to be brilliant. But when they announced the game, they showed a little clip. And then at the end of the clip, Keanu Reeves shows up in the game. And we're all like, say, what? That's Keanu. That bitch don't age. Well, then that bitch who don't age walked out on the stage. And I'm not trying to rhyme, but it does pass the time. He came out on stage and he was saying about how the game was this and it's that. And he said, this game looks spectacular. And somebody in the audience shouts, you're spectacular. So he started laughing. And apparently CD Projekt Red, who make the game, have said that they're going to give the guy who shouted that like the super special edition of the game when it comes out. So I thought that was really nice of him, wasn't it? Spread the joy, spread the happiness. He told Keanu he's spectacular. And from what I hear, Keanu Reeves is actually a bloody nice gentleman. So it's nice to know that somebody is paying it forward to people being nice to other people, Right, post E3 stuff, I was talking about our water. Water, that H2O that comes out pipes in the house. Well, that shit has been messing up this week. We've had local issues. Apparently, there was a power cut at the pumping station, right? Which meant that we woke up on Sunday morning to no water. And I don't mean we had like low pressure. I mean there was nothing. So I had to run out to Tesco first thing Sunday morning, which every person loves doing. Oh, it's their favourite thing. Wake up, go Tesco. Oh, beautiful. So I had to go there and buy a bunch of water because I thought, well, we need to fill the toilet system. What if one of us does a deuce? What if one of us lays so much cable that you can't just leave it chilling for a minute, Pardon the disgustingness of that previous statement. I realised how gross it sounded once it released from my mouth. Anyway, yeah, I bought some water. Came back 17 pence for a 2-litre bottle. Not too bad, so I got 3 of them. Anyway, came back and then the water was back on pretty much. But it was all weird and foamy. So left it a bit, because I asked United Utilities, said, hey, woman, is this normal? Is it normal for my water to be foamy and cloudy? And she said, yes, love, it is normal. It's trapped air in your pipes is what that is. And I know that feeling. Trapped air in the pipes. And so she said, a couple of days, be right as rain. So I thought, cool, awesome. And the next day, there's a burst water main nearby. So we had minimal water. At least we had some this time, but it was like really low pressure, you know what I mean? So couldn't have the boiler on, couldn't do, a full bath and stuff. It's just a pain in the backside. But the good news is, folks, as of right now, it is sorted. The proof is in the pudding. Charlie is currently in a bath of hot water in the bathroom, so it must be working. If either that or she's sat there going, this is not nice. So anyway, the way in the past I've done this ArtStation challenge thing. It's like an art challenge for people who make 3D art. They go on, you get given a brief, and then you get like 6 weeks to go and make something pretty. Basically, that's the gist of it. And every week you have to update a blog to say, here's what I'm up to in the competition. What do you think? Feedback, critiques, and whatnot. Well, this time, there's a new one just started yesterday, and this one's based on King Arthur, which would be awesome to do. But I thought to myself, I've been feeling inspired recently. I've been feeling inspired to finish my Palace of Versailles library scene that I was working on ages ago. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it coinciding with this art challenge. So I'm going to do my own art challenge in the sense of I'm going to stick to the same kind of discipline that those guys are having to do. That way I'm being held accountable and I actually have to finish it. Sound like a plan? I think so too. So, so I'm going to be doing that. I'm going to be making that. I'm going to be updating my blog every week on my ArtStation, hopefully. Hopefully people will say, oi, you've not done that today. Where's the rest of the work? And I want you guys as well. You guys poke me, okay? Drop me a tweet or something and say, oi, you been doing your work? And I'll say, hey, no. But I want to do it. I want to get it finished because I want to be part of it. You know, I've not got much time to get a bunch of shit together. And this is one of the scenes I really feel like it can be nice, you know? I want it to be nice. I want it to be pretty. And I'm going to do that. Now, I've been letting myself down a little bit again with my Japanese recently this week. I've had a few days where I've not done it fully. And, you know, it makes me feel awful when I miss it. But at the same time, I think I need to tell myself it's okay to miss a day or two from time to time. You know, it's not the end of the world. Now, it does make things harder for me because obviously learning this Japanese stuff, it's all based on memory, you know? And if I forget something, then it's just, I have to hit that red button again saying, no, I don't know what this is. And then it'll come back on in 10 minutes. And the longer you leave that, the more there'll be and the harder it gets. So that's why I have this constant battle of do Japanese, oh, I'm too busy. But if you don't do it, it's harder tomorrow. So, you know, how do you weigh that up? So hopefully I'm going to get back into the right mindset for that soon, which I'd like you guys, if you can, just give me a shout on that every now and again. Check I'm doing it. But yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I've been in between stressing out about stuff like that. I've been watching Barry on Now TV. Have you guys seen that yet? It's on Sky Atlantic. It's got Bill Hader in it. And Henry Winkler. And it's really, really good. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. And I finished season 1 last night. And it's a cracking show. I think I might have spoke about it last week, actually. It's a guy who, he's a hitman. Yeah, I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. It's a hitman who wants to become an actor. It's a cracking show, you know. But Bill Hader is fantastic in it. He does some really seriously good acting in that show. So I'm going to start season 2 tonight, I think. And I can't wait for it. Just a couple more things now, folks. I heard of a band yesterday. I was on YouTube. And I saw a video, and it was one of those top 10 things, but it was like top 10 weirdest bands or something like that. And funnily enough, 2 of them I've seen live, so that made me giggle quite a bit, because there was Baby Metal in there, and there was Darren Gray, both of which seen live. But there's a band on there that came on, and I loved what I heard, so I went and listened to them some more, and they're great. Right, they're called Steam Powered Giraffe. Go check out a song, guys. It's called, oh shit, what's the song called? Hang on. Steam Powered Giraffe. Honeybee. That's it. Have a look at a song called Honeybee by Steam Powered Giraffe and watch the video for it, right? These guys are fantastic. They dress like almost like steampunk androids. It's really weird. But trust me, watch them perform, because as they're performing, they're doing like sort of robotic movements and stuff like they are really androids. But they're so good at it that you kind of start believing it. And the song itself, Honeybee, it's one of the nicest songs I've ever heard. I mean, just beautiful, calming, relaxing, just nice music, you know? So give it a listen. Honeybee by Steam Powered Giraffe. Trust me on this one. Trust Uncle Old Cheeky Chris Face. That is a good song. And also, last thing I want to talk about, I forgot to mention it last week and I was sad about it. We got, I don't know if you guys know, Yorkshire Tea at the moment are doing malt biscuit flavoured tea. And oh my God, it's good. It tastes just like tea and biscuits, except you don't need to be eating biscuits, so you're saving calories. And it's perfect. Like, I can't fault it. It's so damn nice, and it's Yorkshire tea, so it's already the best tea bags you can get. Plus, the added benefit of tasty bickies. If you put a sugar in it, they taste like Nice biscuits. So, you know, or nice, depends how you say it. I used to say nice, and I got told it was Nice, so now I say Nice. Anyway, folks, that is enough rambling and absolute bollocks for me this week. I'm sorry it's been a bit of a rough one. I don't know why. My brain's just turned off post-pizza. But anyway, if you've got any questions for me or you want to lob any comments or abuse at me, you can find me on all the social medias. I'm Chris Hunter Comedy. Or on Twitter, I'm at Chris Hunter Com, which is short for comedy. And if you'd be an absolute love, wherever you listen to this podcast, whether it's iTunes or Spotify or SoundCloud or whatever you use, if you could drop me a little rating and a little review if you can, that'd be awesome. Or subscribe or share. Just tell your friends about the podcast. It really, truly helps me more than you can ever know. So thanks a lot for listening, folks, and I will catch all you beautiful barstools next week. Bye-bye now.